you never lived and scars never heal. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. You find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes. If you just close your eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Special edition today, we got the WWE Power Rankings. I went through the entire WWE roster, and holy shit, there's some shit on that roster. But you know what? There's some talent out there, too. So what I've done is condense it down to the top 25. So I'm going to rank them from 25 to 1. Talk a little bit about each wrestler as I get to them, and maybe where I want to see them go and all that. So let's get started. Number 25 on the list is a former Intercontinental Champion, a former NXT Tag Team Champion, Luke Harper. Obviously, one thing I like to see out of Luke Harper is when he was teaming with Eric Rowan, part of the Wyatt family, it seemed like he had a purpose. When he went on his little singles run and became Intercontinental Champion, it was kind of like a treat for him, and then they're like, you know what, you don't get any more treats. You know, he's part of the Survivor Series match. He looked good as a single guy. If you've seen him come up throughout the years and some of the Ring of Honors, he's been in a lot of the independent stuff as Brody Lee. You know he can wrestle. You know he's a big guy who can actually move and wrestle and kind of get over with the fans. But I'm glad they're going to put him back with Eric Rowan, and I don't know if they're going to completely redevelop the Wyatt family, which I believe they should. That way it kind of gives a guy like this a purpose. You know, put him in the tag team hunt. Give him an occasional US IC title type run. He can handle himself singly, but he's also really good as a tag team and part of a faction. Number 24 on my list is a 5-time Intercontinental Champion. In 2015, King of the Ring. I'm not sure what his name is of the week. It's either Bad News Barrett, Wade Barrett, or King Barrett. Whatever. Really like what Barrett's been doing lately with going for the IC title, his little feud with Neville. Thinking that when that feud first started, Extreme Rules pre-show, you really thought, okay, it's kind of thrown together. They're not going to let Neville get over like they should, which they did. It was amazing to see him working with the high flyer like that, and kind of seeing what Barrett can do. Obviously, being a 5-time Intercontinental Champion, you know he's a solid champion. He's never got across that hurdle to be a world champion. Why a guy like that could win a Money in the Bank and move forward in the world title hunt. Obviously, these guys from NXT coming up, and you'll see the top of this roster. Top of this 25, quite a few former NXT guys. A lot of talent here. WWE is moving in the right direction. They still got the Wade Barretts of the world and that kind of, I don't say homegrown talent, but more of the unknown guys coming in that they've kind of built up. Number 23 on my list is a current member of the Tag Team Champions. No, it's not Big E. It's Xavier Woods, formerly known as Consequences Creed when he wrestled for TNA and among other organizations on the kind of indie side, non-WWE side basically. Just seeing him when Xavier Woods came in, him getting over that character, kind of getting away from that character as Consequences Creed. A lot of wrestlers I've seen, they'll get buried into a character and that's all they're known for. He's able to transition to the Xavier Woods, part of the New Day now. Not really liking the idea of the New Day. Neither are the fans. I mean, the energy level of these guys, and as good as Xavier Woods is, he is one of those guys you can put him in a role like this and he can get over with it. Seen him in the ring, there's been a lot of good stuff going on there. I don't like the fact that all 3 members of the New Day are considered tag team champions, kind of like it was back when they had the Spirit Squad. But it's fine. Xavier is kind of the mouthpiece of the New Day, which is kind of cool. I just think they need a bigger name besides Kofi and Big E and a bigger level star to run this, to make it a legit faction. I know initially they wanted to make it kind of like the Nation of Domination from the past, but you don't have the guys to do that currently in this little faction. But number 23, Xavier Woods. Number 22, a former United States champion, a former ECW champion, and a former world champion, Jack Swagger. I don't really know if he got hurt again or he just disappeared. I mean, he hasn't been on TV much. I liked when he first came in, the character he had, kind of the real American, former Olympic, kind of the splash off Kurt Angle type gimmick he had. When he won the Money in the Bank, was able to win his world title, got a little push there. It was legit, I thought. Can't talk more shit. I love it when Zeb Colder's with him. But Jack Swagger's got talent. He's one of those guys that WWE can rely on, I think, unless you don't get hurt. And he can go out there and give you a good match and put on a good show for the fans. Number 21 on the list is a two-time WWE Intercontinental Champion, a two-time WWE US Champion, a former World Champion. Oh, sorry. Two-time WWE World Champion, a one-time World Champion, and a two-time US Champion. Number 21, Sheamus. I was glad to see him come back from injury. Pretty good talent in the ring. Can't stand the fucking hair or the little fucking braids right here. I mean, really? Come on. That's just the dumbest, gayest shit I've ever seen. But a heel Sheamus is good for the Intercontinental title run. It seems like he's one of the guys right there kind of fighting for that. Believe he should be. What's stupid here, he'll be in the chamber, the Elimination Chamber for the IC title. Wouldn't have a problem him being the IC champion, which is the only title he's not held in WWE. So look forward to some good stuff from Sheamus. Keep doing what he's been doing. Get rid of the fucking hair, and just go back to kick your ass, kick your face, Sheamus, and put a title on him and run with it. He's good for that. Number 20 on the list. Four-time Intercontinental Champion, a three-time United States Champion, a four-time Tag Team Champion, one-third of the current Tag Team Champion, Kofi Kingston. Kofi, just the amazing work he has done, whatever WWE's want him to do, they'll never give him the next step push. There's been so many rumors over the years that Kofi's going to Money in the Bank, Kofi's going to do this, Kofi's world champion, Kofi can do this. And WWE just like, dude, go out and do fucking spots for us in ladder matches, go out and do spots for us in Royal Rumble, and that's your career. And it's good to see him with gold. It's good to see him part of something here with a tag team with Xavier Woods and Big E. Not a big Big E fan. I'll say that right now. Big E did not make the list. Just things that Kofi's done over the years and ladder matches and some of the spots he has taken is like, holy shit, dude. The Royal Rumble moments when he does the handstand, hops on the chair, jumps from the announce table back to the ring, the barrier to the ring. Just all that is just amazing. Why they've never went forward with doing something with him and a world title. Is there people more deserving? Probably, but is he a guy that deserves a shot and would the crowd be behind him? Oh, hell yeah. He could be, the John Cena level face of your company if you let him. Number 19, a three-time Tag Team Champion. The last member to be trained in the Heart Dungeon. Unless that's what the story is. Natalia's husband, Tyson Kidd. Obviously teaming with Cesaro right now, looking great as a tag team. Hopefully the Brass Ring Club will get the titles back, and Kidd will be a four-time tag team champion. Loving what they're doing with that tag team right now. Obviously, I've always been high on Tyson Kidd. He's a workhorse. He's the kind of guy to go out there and give you his all every night. But WWE has never kind of believed in him, I guess. I don't know if they're continuous shitting on him because of what's happened with the Hart family over the years, and he's part of that. I don't know. But very talented wrestler. Hopefully him and Cesaro get the tag team titles back at Elimination Chamber. So number 19 on my list is Tyson Kidd. Number 18 on my list, a former Intercontinental Champion, a former Tag Team Champion, Curtis Axel. I don't know what it is. Actually, I've always seen talent in this guy. WWE either doesn't know how to use him or doesn't want to use him. I don't understand it. When he was in FCW before the NXT, he was Joe Hennig, the son of Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. Boom! Your character's developed already. Bring you in. But no, the first year of the NXT thing they had when Wade Barrett and the Nexus came in. And they decided to put in part of the Nexus as Michael McGillicuddy. So you kind of already just erased the past. Then they got rid of that character and brought him as Curtis Axel, which his grandfather was Larry Henning, Larry the Axe Henning, so that's where the Axel comes from. And Curtis is from Kurt Henning. So I get the tie-ins, but you don't talk about it. You don't go out there and let him do the perfect plex like he's done before. And have him act like his dad. He looks a lot like his dad, too. Like I've said before, you need to redevelop this guy. You need to get him off TV for a little while, maybe send him in NXT, whatever you got to do. Redo his character. Bring him in as Joe Henning, the son of Mr. Perfect. You know, perfect in his own right. Do everything you do with Kurt Hennig and Mr. Perfect back in the day. Do that with him now. And I bet you would end up getting getting him over as that third generation superstar. That, you know, maybe put him with a Randy or somebody who's another third generation superstar. So that way you got that history, you got that family tie to wrestling in WWE. But Curtis Axel, number 18. Number 17, another second generation superstar. A 2-time Intercontinental Champion, a 6-time Tag Team Champion. Currently known as Stardust, Cody Rhodes. I don't know what happened with him, who he made mad upstairs in WWE corporate, but obviously he pissed off somebody. I mean, it seemed like his career was like this and just went weep-a-doo. I don't know. I mean, I get him putting him with his brother with kind of Goldust's last run in WWE. Yeah, that was cool what they did with that. They set up the perfect freaking feud with him where they kind of had freaking Cody turn on Goldust and just kick the fuck out of him in front of his dad. They could have set up a brother versus brother with dad as the referee. You had so much setup you could have done there, and they did nothing with it. And now he's kind of, you know, he's been part of the Open Challenge versus John Cena, which he looked good there. I just think Cody has so much talent. He needs to drop the Stardust gimmick and move forward as Cody Rhodes, the same guy he was, you know, 3-4 years ago when he was, you know, going for the IC title and the Money in the Banks and all that. Number 16 on my list. If you guys have ever seen the IWR show, Pro Wrestling Pulse, our Robert Sports show, or even my other name for it, Pro Wrestling Fan Show, I've crapped on this guy a lot. 4-time Tag Team Champion, a 4-time United States Champion, and a 15-time World Champion. Number 16 on my list, John Cena. I've had a lot of, and I've said this in videos too before, I've had a lot of respect for him. You know, I've got more respect for his character and for what he's done for the business, for the wrestling business, what he does, you know, day in, day out. But I'll tell you, the most I've ever been behind John Cena is right now, with the whole U.S. Open Challenge and what he's done there. I think the crowd has seen it too. These last 2 Monday Night Raws with Kevin Owens coming out. And you know, the crowd has been so behind John Cena and so kind of anti-Owens, which is good because Owens is supposed to be the badass heel here. But just seeing how that character's developed, where you got so sick of it, if you've seen my intro, all the fucking t-shirts, oh my god. Is there a color that he hasn't had a t-shirt of? And yes, I've said if he came out with a black one, I wanted it, then that current one's black. It's got the fucking title right there. So you know, as long as he has that shirt, he's keeping the title. If it was just a black shirt, didn't have the title on it, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. But no, John Cena, he's got a lot of respect for me. When I watch his match, I know whoever he's wrestling, that's how good he's going to be. He's wrestling a Seth Rollins, or Daniel Bryan, or a Sami Zayn, or Kevin Owens come up in the Elimination Chamber. I know how good those guys are. When they're here, John Cena is here. Unfortunately, when that wrestler is at this level, John Cena's right here. So he wrestles to the level of his opponent. Which when you put him in there with the Big Shows, the Mark Henrys, the Great Khali's, you get just garbage. And Brock Lesnar, you just get garbage. You got to keep him in there with talented wrestlers like Neville or people like that, Neville. Guys like that, you know, a lot of the guys on the NXT roster that are hopefully keep this Open Challenge going, that's what you need to keep him doing. I like seeing him with the United States title. I didn't think I would, but I'm loving the Open Challenge. I know there was a rumor maybe having Randy win the IC title and do it, maybe have him doing something similar with the IC title, which would be pretty cool. But, you know, I'm really liking what the whole thing with John Cena now. I'm liking everything, him being U.S. champion. So, number 16, John Cena. Number 15, a two-time NXT Tag Team Champion, a one-time NXT World Champion. Believe the longest reigning NXT Champion, which title hasn't been around that long, but Neville. On the indie circuit known as Pac. Obviously, you guys seen what he's done in WWE, that Red Arrow finisher, and just the high flying, this, that, and the other. It's just a shame he's not in that elimination chamber for the IC title. I think an IC title and that guy would look awesome. Him in a chamber, I mean, good God. I mean, you've seen RVD in the chamber, well, the first or second elimination chamber. So yeah, I mean, in Neville, high flyers in that atmosphere can be some good stuff. But the feud with Barrett, I love it. The feud now with Bo Dallas doesn't really do anything for me. Hopefully what it's going to do is just kind of gets him away from Barrett and lets Barrett go after the IC title, and then they'll feud him again for the IC title. Maybe it kind of a transition for Bo Dallas to get him away from the Believe character to some badass fucking Wyatt like he should be. I don't know what's going to happen, but going forward, Neville, bright future with WWE. Hopefully continues doing what he's doing. Hopefully getting a little IC title run. Love to see more of that on Raw and on pay-per-views. Number 14, probably one of the most underrated wrestlers on the WWE roster, I think. One of the most crapped on by WWE. A former tag team champion, Damien Sandow. How many guys on the WWE roster do y'all know have seen that Vince or whoever writes this stuff, alright dude, go out there and act like me. And he does it flawlessly. Alright man, go out there and act like LeBron James. And he does it just flawlessly. Go out there and act like Larry Bird. And he does it. I mean, now go out and act like Hall of Famer Randy Macho Man Savage. You got it, dude. Go out there and act like a douchebag with Miz. You got it. And pull it off, just make it look just freaking great. Make it entertaining when he does it. I mean, just my first time I seen Damien Sandow was the 1000th episode of Raw in St. Louis. I was there with Pro Wrestling Pulse family. And he comes out, and I hadn't been watching much wrestling at that time. And he comes out, and I look at J-Man, and I'm like, who's this guy? And J-Man's always said, when J-Man really likes somebody, he's like, just watch. I'm like, alright. And I've always, you know, Ryan, Quaddy, and, you know, they say, you know, just watch, okay? I'll watch and see what I think. Holy damn. The promo we cut on DX that night, and just, I'm better than you, you're welcome. I mean, just all that, it's like, oh man. And then watch this guy in the ring, it's like, whoa, this guy's got talent. He's got mic skills. He's got character, you know, he can develop his character. He's done it before. He gets the crowd behind him. Why isn't this guy a world champion? One comparison I can take to is Mr. Kennedy. And Kennedy's problem was injury. But it seems like this guy, every time WWE starts to push him, WWE's like, pull him back. No, I don't like that right now. They start to push him. Nope, pull it back. I don't like that right now. You gotta, I mean, unfortunately he's known as the only guy to lose the Money in the Bank case, cashing it in. It's like, you let him win the Money in the Bank and then you let him lose it? I mean, come on. But Damien Sandow, really enjoy everything he does. Hopefully they'll get back to a more enjoyable character than this whole Macho Man thing with Axel Mania and the Mega Powers. Number 13 on the list is currently the NXT number 1 contender, Finn Balor. Formerly known as Prince Devitt on the indie circuit, New Japan Pro Wrestling, I believe he's in PWG. If you've seen anything he's done with New Japan and all that, it's just amazing. Stuff he's done in NXT, the little bit that I've seen, has been pretty good. Obviously, they're looking at giving him the NXT title and moving forward with that in NXT and transitioning a little bit and eventually having him come to the main roster. But there's just so much talent in NXT roster that it's kind of like, somebody like this can get buried. Like Sami Zayn get hurt, he can get buried. I mean, that's the thing. Either you're on top of the NXT or you're just another guy. And unfortunately, in NXT, when you're just another guy, you're 10 times better than half the main roster in WWE. So, but I know Finn Balor, just phenomenal things he's doing. Can't wait to see him debut in WWE on Raw, and just see what the plans are for him, what they can do with him. There's so much talent there. And that's the biggest thing with guys like this, and even the next guy on the list. They have so much raw talent that WWE can't harness it too much. You got to let these guys go out and do what they do. You can't just, well, he used to be this kind of guy, but now we're going to make him this guy. It doesn't work that way, guys. You got to make this guy this guy. You can't just completely change what they're doing and make him actually be right. So Finn Balor, number 13 on my list. Number 12, Hideo Itami, formerly known as Kenta Kobashi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. When I first heard that Hideo Itami got signed by WWE, I was just like, oh my god, oh my god. This guy is just, if you've ever seen anything he's done, it's just amazing what he can do. I've seen him in Ring of Honor before. I've seen some highlights of stuff from New Japan, and so much, again, one of those indie type guys that's got so much raw talent that WWE should have picked this guy up a long time ago. If they would have got this guy 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the matches that him and Mysterio could have had and the feuds they could have had, holy damn it. And he's done the move in NXT a little bit, and hopefully he'll do it when he comes to WWE, is the GTS. I know. There's a guy named CM Punk that used to do that. This guy taught CM Punk that move. This guy taught people like CM Punk and other people like that moves. This guy, I just think, to be a mega star at WWE, 5 years too late. Same way with the Finn Balor's of the world. I'm just afraid of these guys, what they put their bodies through over the years in the indie circuit. WWE's not, number one, not going to let them do that, and number two, they're going to get hurt, and that's it, So Hideo Itami, number 12 on my list. Number 11, we have a 2-time world champion, a 4-time intercontinental champion, a 1-time United States champion, and 1-time tag team champion. Ironically, Mr. Perfection, Dolph Ziggler. Number 11 on my list. Did not time that with the music. It just happened. Dolph's been a huge fan of his for quite a number of years now. Just can't believe that he hasn't been a mainstay world champion yet. He's so good. He's so talented. He's got the mic skills. He's kind of... A comparison that I made with him is kind of like a Christian when he was always the second fiddle to Edge or even an Owen Hart, where he's so talented and so good, mic skills, the whole 9 yards, that he just hasn't got his break as a mainstay world champion. I wouldn't have an issue him winning the Money in the Bank again and being a world champion. Whatever you want to do with Dolph, do it. I mean, he's that talented. He's that kind of guy that can run your company. Look what he did at Survivor Series for Team Cena. I mean, he was the only one out there, and he was able to win it. I mean, he's got the raw talent. He's got the ability. So we need to use him better. All right, that goes number 11. Now we get to the top 10. A little recap here. 25 is Luke Harper. 24, Bad News Barrett. 23, Xavier Woods. 22, Jack Swagger. 21, Sheamus. 20, Kofi Kingston. 19, Tyson Kidd. 18, Curtis Axel. 17, Stardust. 16, John Cena. 15, Neville. I don't know why I messed up saying that. Neville. Number 14, Damian Sandow. Number 13, Finn Balor. Number 12, Hideo Itami. And number 11, Dolph Ziggler. Number 10, the longest reigning United States champion in WWE history. The third longest U.S. title reign ever. As we all know, the United States title started when WCW and came to WWE when WWE purchased WCW. So to say you're the longest running United States champion ever in the history of WWE United States title, and the third longest in the history of the title itself. Saying a lot. When you're as talented as this guy is, you can say that. A soon-to-be world heavyweight champion in my eyes, Dean Ambrose, or Gene Ambrose, formerly known on the indie circuit as Jon Moxley. Dean Ambrose, when he debuted with the Shield. When you know who these guys are, it makes it easier when they debut to get a fan base. So fans, I'm telling you right now, once I get through this top 10, I'll say it again, I'll say it more. I know if you're WWE fans, it's awesome. You gotta check out other wrestling so you know these guys. Because you know what? When these kind of guys debut, when Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose came in as the Shield at Survivor Series 2012, I believe it was, if you know who they are, it makes those kind of debuts just more dynamic and more, I know with NXT being out now, people get a little bit, but you got to know, just like, I'll get to it when I get farther up here, but you just got to take a look at the world of professional wrestling. And if you don't know who some of these guys are, look up the different companies, look up the different titles, and look up stuff on YouTube. And that way, when these guys debut, you're just, you do like we did, like the Pulse guys did. We marked out hard when they debuted. Because we knew what talent, we said Roman Reigns, obviously. We knew what talent Seth Rollins was. We knew the talent of Dean Ambrose. It's just, I want to see a Dean Ambrose as the world champion. Can it happen in the Elimination Chamber? Hell yeah! Do I want it to? I'd be fine with that. I got no issue with him beating Seth Rollins for the world title. Because I know what we're getting. We have a legit world champion there. And we're going to get a rematch. That's going to be just as good, if not better. So yeah. So number 10 on the list, Dean Ambrose. Hopefully soon to be world champion. If not at Chamber, down the line. Maybe win Money in the Bank. Maybe next year's his run. But yeah, definitely Ambrose has got to be a world champion. Number 9 on the list is a former Intercontinental Champion, former Tag Team Champion, a 12-time World Champion, Randy Orton, Master of the RKO. It's good for WWE that they can put out product where you don't have a Randy Orton on a card, and the card looks pretty good. The card doesn't look bad for a Chamber without a Randy Orton. Would it look better with Randy Orton? Hell yeah, it would. But the fact you can take a John Cena out of the world title hunt and still have a legit world title hunt. You can take a Randy Orton away from the world title hunt and still have a legit world champion, the legit world title hunt. That just means what Tripp is doing and the superstars he's bringing in to develop a future for WWE, he's doing it. It's almost like a transition period from the prototypical John Cena, Randy Orton kind of guys to the youth movement. And these former indie guys who are coming into WWE and just making a splash that people know and love. If you look throughout WWE history, there's always certain reigns, or certain people that transition multiple reigns, but there's certain little eras. And if you look like the Attitude Era, the Stone Colds, the Tripps, the Rocks, the Undertakers, the Shawn Michaels, as you bring forward to that, Shawn goes away for a few years and comes back. Stone Cold, The Rock, it's going like this. Taker went and did his own thing. And then now you've still got the Triple H's out there and The Rock on special occasions coming out there. And Taker kind of transitioning out, Bray Wyatt transitioning in. And now you got a Seth Rollins, a Dean Ambrose, a Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. You got these guys transition into the new world champions. So, and WWE needs to do that in order to keep developing and keep growing. They developed the WWE Network where you can go back and watch all this stuff from WWE history, which is amazing. I've yet to get the network. Hopefully soon I'll be getting it. But it'll be amazing to go back for me and watch some of the stuff that I grew up on and looking at it now. But, I'll talk to wrestling fans and they're like, oh, is that Randy Orton kid still wrestling? Kid? Yeah, he's a full-time world champion. Well, last time I watched it, he was in the Evolution group and wasn't doing much. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, he's still there. He's world champion. He's full-time world champion. Yeah, he's one of the elite now. But number 9, Randy Orton. Number 8, a guy who can be the next John Cena of WWE. He can be the face of your company. Sami Zayn, formerly known as El Generico, former NXT champion. Just, if you've ever followed his career, and I have to a point, I've seen a lot of his indie stuff in Ring of Honor, and once he came out, his first ever WWE match on Raw was a tag team match with Neville. Okay. Versus, I think it was Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd, I believe. Knowing what he did on the indie circuit and seeing that transition to WWE, it was pretty cool, actually. And then when he had the open challenge in Montreal being announced by Bret Hart, guy from, Sami Zayn from Montreal, and just the pop he got, it's like, holy crap. And then that match against John Cena, you knew he had arrived at that point. It's like, holy snap. I mean, unfortunately, he suffered an injury. Reading he should be out the rest of the year, so that's not good for him. Hopefully he can come back healthy and still be in the NXT title hunt and then transition onto the main roster. Look forward to some good things from him. Another one of those guys, a few years too late, I think. I think injuries will kind of hamper his development in WWE, but another guy I want to see really just shoot to the moon and who can do it. Number 7 on my list, 6-time world champion, a 7-time tag team champion, and 9-time intercontinental champion. Chris Y2J Jericho. Yeah, I say Chris Jericho. Obviously, we haven't seen Jericho on television for a long time. He signed a contract with WWE to wrestle house shows only, January through April. With the Tough Enough coming out, he'll be the host of Tough Enough, and he signed another contract with WWE June through August to wrestle house shows, selected house shows. So that's actually, I think, pretty cool of him, where he wants to still wrestle for WWE, go to these house shows where people are just going to love him, where he can put people over and not be on TV. It's just phenomenal. Obviously, him still wrestling, he's got to be on this list, especially that high, if not higher. Nothing else I can say about Chris Jericho, the first ever undisputed champion. Watched him in WCW as Cruiserweight champion. He came to WWE and made that transition from a Cruiserweight to beating Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rock in the same night to become the first ever undisputed champion. And just been a future Hall of Famer from there on. Love to see him on TV and doing stuff, but man's got to do what he's got to do. So all for him, just wrestling house shows. But yeah, Chris Jericho, number 7 of my WWE Power Rankings. Number 6, former United States champion and former tag team champion, Cesaro, formerly known as Claudio Castagnoli. He's one of those guys, kind of like a Sami Zayn, that it's a whole different perspective of him when you see him in a 150-seat gymnasium wrestling and you see him at WrestleMania. It's just amazing the difference. I mean, it's just like, holy crap. When he was part of Ring of Honor and the Kings of Wrestling with Chris Hero, Jamin and I were at a show in Collinsville, Illinois, and we were sitting right when they come in the ring, when they come down, right there on the corner, and they had a 6-way tag against the Briscoes, with Amazing Kong, and then the Kings with the Queen of Wrestling, Sarah Del Rey. Claudio walks by me, or Cesaro walks by, and I pat him on the shoulder. He turns around and goes, "Don't touch me!" And it's like, you're that close to one of these guys, and now looking back and watching that DVD and realizing I'm that close to one of the best guys in WWE, it's like, holy shit. That's what's cool about indie wrestling, is you can get that close to wrestlers. You can go to an after party and hanging out with the Briscoes, which Ryan and J-Man have done. And then seeing a guy like this, like I said, at a WrestleMania or any pay-per-view, it's like, holy crap. I've, talked to that guy. And here he is, in my mind, the 6th best wrestler in WWE. But yeah, Cesaro, continue with the Brass Ring Club. I don't know what Vince's deal with him is. They kind of went with him. which is fine. You got to kind of redevelop people, kind of build people back up. Him tagging with Tyson Kidd, which Tyson Kidd's on here at number 19. Obviously, there's no other current tag team on here. So what's that tell you? The only other tag team that I really, really like is like the Usos and stuff, but Cesaro is one of my favorite right now. So number 6, Cesaro. Number 5. Again, I can't plan this. The music. Bray Wyatt, number 5. One of those transitions you can do when the person comes in. Didn't like him when he first came in. Hardcore did not like him. Obviously kept watching the pay-per-views, kept watching things that the Wyatt family was doing. And it's one of those things, you keep seeing greatness, you keep seeing the promos, and eventually it's like, this guy's pretty damn good. And every time I bring it up to Jimmy, he's like, I told you. I know, guys, I know, but you have to believe it for yourself. A person can only say so much. You gotta believe it for yourself. But just amazing things he's done. The feuds he's had with Ambrose, and the way he came back in the Hell in a Cell like that with the hologram of Sister Abigail running through it. The feud with John Cena last year. The feud with Taker for the lead up to WrestleMania was just, oh my God, that was just brilliant stuff. I mean, you can list on one hand the number of WWE wrestlers, or wrestlers period, that can build a feud with The Undertaker without The Undertaker even being there and having it so believable that you thought The Undertaker was there. Just everything he did in that build-up. Obviously, feuding with Ryback, which is his recent feud he started, I don't know why. Why? Have him feud with Randy. Have him feud with, I don't know, Seth Rollins. Have him feud with, I don't know, Kevin Owens. I don't know, Dolph. Damian Sands. I mean, just somebody with talent. Why Ryback? Why? Why ruin a guy like that? But no, just the future for Bray Wyatt. It looks good. The new face of Fury keeps calling himself. I think we're going to have, going forward, WrestleMania moments with Bray Wyatt. I think what Taker's done over the last 20 years at Mania, you connect the two, Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt goes on that same type of path. I just think it's going to be some phenomenal stuff what they can do with him. World title. Sky's the limit. But that character development, they need to build on it more. And really, kind of like Taker did, is build on the actual character as The Undertaker. Bring in the family stuff. Bring in like the Kane stuff. You got Bo Dallas there. You can turn him and have him kind of pull that stuff out too. Like, well, have Bo Dallas goes, well, this happened in our childhood. You took it this way, but I took it this way. And then maybe, feud him, have him join, or whatever you get to do to kind of bring more out about Sister Abigail, bring out more about the actual, just the raw character, and develop it more so more fans can just pull on it. But loving everything they've done with Bray Wyatt. Number four on my list has not even had a match in WWE yet. Debuted at the NXT Unstoppable show. Yeah, I'm talking about Samoa Joe, ladies and gentlemen. Holy snap. If you've seen NXT Unstoppable, if you've seen it on SmackDown, oh my God, just how great that moment was. Again, like I said, some other guys, I think it's 5 years too late. I think what it could have been 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when he was at the height of what he could do. We don't have that Samoa Joe, unfortunately, but I've seen that Samoa Joe. If you fans have not seen Samoa Joe, hang on. Because when you go to NXT and your first person you go after is the big dog with the title, and everybody has, that match has happened in Ring of Honor before, Just hang on and enjoy. Joe is just. I cannot wait till he hits the main roster in WWE. I cannot wait till he's a freaking WWE World Champion. I mean, it could be next year, I think. I think it could be, Survivor Series. I mean, and that's the same thing. On the polls, we've joked about him coming in and doing things with him. And one of the things we had said was, when you bring him in with Paul Heyman, and he's a Samoan. There's another Samoan that's really not that great in WWE right now. What's his name? Roman Reigns? Just have fucking Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns for the best Samoan. We all know who's going to win. Joe is going to eat fucking Roman Reigns. That's all there is to it. And just bring him in. Just come in as a beast, kind of like a Brock Lesnar type, and don't let him speak anything. Just go out there and kick ass. And maybe give Brock the title again when he comes back at SummerSlam, and bring in maybe next year, sometime, have Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar. Not a huge Brock Lesnar fan, obviously he's not in my top 25, but I would be okay with seeing that match. I do like Brock Lesnar for one reason. When he's kicking Roman Reigns' ass, like at WrestleMania. I became a Brock Lesnar fan for that one match. But yeah, Samoa Joe, cannot wait to see what WWE does with him. Cannot believe that WWE is letting him wrestle in Ring of Honor. WWE is going to let Samoa Joe wrestle on Ring of Honor TV while he's wrestling on the WWE Network. Unheard of. I'm just blown away. He's going to be on Destination America and Ring of Honor, and he's going to be on WWE Network and WWE. Okay. But yeah, just can't wait to see good things from him. Number 3 on the list. The current NXT World Champion, Kevin Owens, formerly known as Kevin Steen. I was talking to a wrestling fan at work right after the day after he debuted on Monday Night Raw. And this girl says to me, "Who was that guy?" Excuse me? Who was that guy? Here's how I described it to her. You know how good Daniel Bryan is? She's like, well, yeah. You know how good Seth Rollins is? Yeah. Equal, if not better. Seriously? Yeah. So this is a WWE fan. When a wrestling fan seeing Kevin Owens come out and accept that challenge, oh yeah, I'm marking out just like that almost. Oh my god. And I actually legit thought he was going to win the U.S. title. I'm like, there's no way he can have the U.S. title and the fucking NXT title at the same time. Just his promo, when freaking John Cena goes, let me give you some better advice, kid. Whoa. You cannot give me better advice. This, I've been doing longer than you. You got a break before I did. That's it. So, yeah, I mean, just here he is feuding with John Cena in WWE. In NXT, starting to feud with Finn Balor and now Samoa Joe. And obviously, I just read that with Rusev getting hurt, Kevin Owens has signed a WWE contract for the main roster. He will be transitioning from NXT to the main roster during the summer. So we're going to have him on NXT and on WWE going forward. Holy crap. Cannot wait to see where this comes from. If you've seen anything from Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor, that's the basically PG. We got a PG-13 Kevin Steen right now. His shirt, Fight Owens Fight. That's just a play off of Kill Steen Kill when he was in Ring of Honor. When he talks about Sami Zayn and had told Cena how you didn't hurt him, I hurt him, and tells him that, Sami Zayn and I have been friends for a long time. I care about Sami Zayn. If I do that to somebody I care about, what am I going to do for you? And I don't like you. You're getting this heel freaking. You have to know to me at least, coming in like he did, you almost have to know background in order to understand how big this is and what this moment means. You're not putting down any just true only WWE fans. I get it, guys. WWE is the top dog, but that's why I keep saying you got to check out these other companies, these other indie circuit, kind of see who the next guys are coming up. He's number 3 on my top 25 WWE, and he's been in WWE, actually on Raw twice. The number 4 guy has never been on Raw or SmackDown. So it's like, I know how good these guys are because of what I've seen. I was watching New Japan Pro Wrestling this morning on Access TV. There was a match, Kota Ibushi versus Ricochet. Oh my God. If you've not seen this match, I'm going to try to find it favorite on my channel, but if you've not seen this match, find it. Ricochet can be the Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe type that can come in WWE and immediately go to the moon. He's known as Prince Puma in Lucha Underground. But just this match with Kota Ibushi, however I pronounce it for sure, on New Japan, it's just like, I've never seen anyone ever do a Frankensteiner and land on their feet. Ricochet did. Ibushi went to do the Frankensteiner on Ricochet. When he flipped him, Ricochet landed on his feet. I just watched it all, and I had to rewind and did he just, oh my God, he did. I mean, and that was just the one move of this 15-minute match. It's just like freaking, it was one of the 2014 matches that New Japan's shown for the first time ever in the United States. It was one of the match of the year candidates for 2014. But yeah, I mean, Kevin Owens is that kind of guy. Samoa Joe is that kind of guy. There's so many of those guys out there that WWE needs to go get. There's rumors that they're looking at AJ Styles. That's about 5 years too late, I think. But still, AJ coming in, he would be the same as Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. I mean, there's Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe feud from Ring of Honor. There's Samoa Joe, AJ Styles feud from TNA, Ring of Honor. There's so much raw talent out there. The Ricochets of the world, the AJ Styles of the world, the Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, Brian Cage. There's just so many people out there that I'm not even mentioning that are so talented that WWE needs to bring in and just have just the godliest of rosters. So your current NXT champion is number 3. Look for bigger, better things from him. Look at him being a world champion soon in WWE. Number 2 on my list, 4-time world heavyweight champion, former tag team champion, former United States champion, and former Intercontinental champion. Unfortunately, is not currently wrestling due to injury. Yes, the one and only Daniel Bryan. Holy crap. What more can you say about this guy? Bryan Danielson in Ring of Honor and in Japan, wherever else he's wrestled. I only keep bringing up these other names for these guys because I want wrestling fans to check out other organizations besides WWE. So when you have the Owens moments, the Samoa Joe moments, you understand the quality of these guys. But Daniel Bryan, just so sad that he's hurt right now with concussions that may cost him his career. Would never wish that on anyone. He needs to worry about Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson and Brie Danielson and his family before he worries about WWE fans. He's going to be on the kickoff show for Elimination Chamber with The Miz. Looking forward to see that interview. But just Daniel Bryan, just as good as he is in the ring and talented as many moments as he's, oh my God moments he's given wrestling fans. If he's able to come back, that would just be icing on the cake. If he's not, just like Edge, just like Christian, we had good times, we had some bad times. We'll remember the good times and move forward. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. But yeah, number 2 on the list, Daniel Bryan. Hopefully we'll see another Daniel Bryan world, title run at WrestleMania. But you know what? If it never happens again and he's done, I can say I was at WrestleMania 30 when he won the WWE World Title. So, there you go. Number 1 on the list. Former NXT World Champion. A former Tag Team Champion. He's held the WWE World Title. If you follow what I've been doing here at all, and you know anything about the WWE roster, it's pretty damn obvious who number 1 is. Roman Reigns! Gotcha! Fuck no. Number 1 is Seth Rollins. Probably one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet today. Tyler Black, Ring of Honor. I think you've heard Pulse guys. We've probably said his name more than once. Look back on Pro Wrestling Pulse. Look back on IWR show to some of the Ring of Honor shows that we did previews and reviews for. Look back on Robert Sports Show. There's some former. I think he was out of Ring of Honor time I started doing shows. But definitely check out IWR and all that. Look at Ring of Honor stuff from Tyler Black. And stuff that J-Man and Quaddy and Ryan and I have said before over the years that Seth Rollins, formerly known as Tyler Black, he is the man. And now the future is here. I mean, he is a world champion. He's a legit world champion. I think WWE has made him look shitty. I think they've taken the heel out of him and he busted his ass to win Money in the Bank. Oh, Kane helped him. He busted his ass to be a world champion. Oh, Kane helped him. Kane's done. I'm sorry, you cannot keep crapping on him like that. If you want to break him apart from the Authority, insert Kevin Owens and or Dean Ambrose in the Authority, have him go the face run versus the Authority versus Tripp. I'm all for that. As long as he is in talks with the world title hunt. That's all that matters. Just them outlawing the curb stomp, I get it. It's deadly. People can get hurt from it. But just having him freaking doing Tripp's pedigree. Tripp, take the kid under your wings. Teach him how to do the pedigree. It looks alright, but it ain't spectacular yet. And Seth Rollins, let Triple H teach you the proper way to do the pedigree. Or call up your friend CM Punk and see if you can do the Pepsi Plunge. I don't know if WWE let you do that, but you can do it and try it and see what happens. For you who don't know, the Pepsi Plunge was basically a pedigree off the top rope. What Punk used to do back in the indie circuit. So, alright. Well, that will wrap up my WWE Power Rankings. The top 25 current WWE superstars in my eyes. So please comment below if you think that Seth shouldn't be number 1 or there's somebody not on this list or if I had somebody way too high. But again, wrestling is 90% opinion, 10% fact. Thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Have a spiffy day. Enjoy the Elimination Chamber. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channels.
This ain't a song for the broken heart.